The wreck in the dust, the sun was fading fast on the dry red moon. Its heat still hung heavy in the air, making the rocks shimmer like glass. Dust storms rolled over the horizon like waves, angry and loud. The place was dead, forgotten by most ships that passed through this sector, but not by her. Lyra crawled forward, blood running down her arm, staining her silver flight suit. Her breathing was slow now, too slow. The oxygen in her suit was running out. Her ship, the Vera, had crashed hours ago. The engines were dead, the comms fried. Her beacon had blinked for a moment, then went dark. She was truly alone, except she wasn't. A figure stood at the top of a nearby hill, half shadowed by the setting sun. Lyra squinted, her vision blurred, but she could tell it wasn't one of her kind. The shape was wrong taller, broader, 2 legs, 2 arms. A human. She blinked again. Maybe she was imagining things. The stories of humans were strange and confusing to her people. Rumors of their strength, their survival instincts, and their odd ways of showing kindness. But why would one be here? This moon was marked as uninhabited, dangerous. Off limits. The figure moved closer. Lyra tried to speak, but her throat was dry. Her lips cracked as she whispered something, maybe a call for help, maybe just a broken sound of fear. She couldn't tell. She dropped to one knee, her body giving up. Her head tilted forward, eyes closing slowly. Then she heard it. A soft voice. Easy now. I've got you. The human knelt beside her. His face was rough, bearded, and his eyes were steady, calm, strong. He wore a dark jacket that looked patched together from different uniforms. His hands were gloved but gentle. He touched her shoulder carefully, not to hurt, just to check her injuries. You're lucky I picked up your crash on my scanner. Your ship's done for. You got a name. She blinked slowly, the translator in her suit barely picking up his words. Lyra, she croaked. Lyra, he repeated, with a nod. Nice to meet you. I'm Adam. You're gonna be all right. Adam reached into his pack and pulled out a small injector. It hissed as he pressed it to her side. Her pain dulled, just a little. The dizziness lessened. She stared at him, confused. Why help me? Adam smiled, not wide, just enough to show a little warmth. Because you needed it. Lyra had never heard such a simple reason. On her world, help was given with payment, or trade, or because of duty. Never just because. Adam slid an oxygen mask over her face and lifted her, carefully, into his arms. She was light to him to light. She'd lost a lot of blood. Her bones felt fragile. He didn't speak much as he walked back toward his small camp. Set up behind a tall ridge where the wind couldn't reach Dodd as the wind howled behind them, Lyra rested her head against his shoulder. She was still scared, still unsure. But one thing was clear. She should have died today, Dodd, but this human had changed that. He didn't know her. He didn't owe her. Yet he came and stayed, and now he carried her like she mattered. Shelter in the storm. The shelter was made of old metal plates, broken ship parts, and canvas tied between rocks. It didn't look strong, but inside, it was warm. A small heater glowed in the corner, and the wind outside was quiet here. Safe. Adam laid Lyra gently on a padded bench near the back. He checked her wounds again, cleaning them with a steady hand. She winced but didn't pull away. She was too tired to fight, and something about his touch. It didn't feel like a stranger's. He moved quietly, working with the kind of care that comes from experience. She watched him from half-closed eyes. His brow was furrowed, his lips pressed tight, not anger-focused. You've got burns on your leg, he said softly. Some cuts too deep for sealant, but you'll live. As long as you don't move too much. Lyra didn't answer. She didn't trust her voice. The medicine had cleared her head a little, but her chest still hurt, and every breath felt like fire. Adam stood and poured water into a small metal cup. He brought it to her lips. Drink slowly. She sipped. The water tasted strange to clean, but it was cool and soothing. Her voice came back, soft and hoarse. Why are you here? On this moon? He sat beside her. Long story. Short. Version I used to work with a salvage crew. We were left behind when a job went bad. I stayed. Got used to the silence. You live here. Alone. Adam nodded. Not many visitors. And none friendly. You're the first living soul I've seen in months. Lyra closed her eyes. Then I was lucky. Adam chuckled. You crash on a dead moon and call it luck. That's something new. She smiled faintly. Her face was pale. Her features delicate, slightly alien, but not strange. Soft ridges ran along her temple, and her skin had a faint shimmer under the light. Beautiful in a quiet, broken way. Adam noticed but said nothing. Instead, he stood and pulled a blanket over her. You need rest. I'll stay close. Lyra opened her eyes again. Barely. Aren't you? Afraid of me? Should I be? He asked with a small grin. I'm not human. He shrugged. You're still bleeding. That's all I need to know. Lyra had no answer. No human had ever spoken to her like that. Her kind saw humans as dangerous, unpredictable, sometimes kind, often cruel. But not this one. She watched him sit across the shelter. Near the heater, he pulled out a small device, an old music box. It clicked, then played a soft tune. The sound was strange, but calming. Gentle notes like falling rain. You listen to music. Adam glanced at her. Keeps me sane. Out here, it's either music or talking to rocks. Lyra smiled again. Just a little. I think I like this. He looked surprised. You understand it. Not the words, but the feeling. Adam nodded. Sometimes that's enough. For a while, they sat in silence. The storm outside roared, but inside the shelter, peace settled between them. Lyra's breathing grew slower, her eyes heavy. Before she drifted to sleep, she whispered, Thank you. Adam, he looked over, his voice quiet. You're welcome, Lyra. She slept then, and Adam watched over her as the storm raged on. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring. He didn't even know if her people would come looking. But one thing was clear. He had saved a life. And maybe, just maybe, she was about to change his ... what she learned about humans. Lyra woke to the sound of soft humming. The light inside the shelter had changed. It was morning now. The heater still glowed, and a warm smell filled the air. Something cooked nearby. Her body ached, but the pain had faded to a dull throb. She could move her fingers. That was good. Adam sat near the heater, stirring a pot over a small flame. He looked tired, but alert. His eyes turned to her when he heard her shift. Morning. He said gently, Didn't think you'd wake so soon. Lyra tried to sit up. Her muscles complained, but she managed. How long? About 9 hours. You slept deep. She looked down at her bandaged arm and leg. You stayed? He nodded. Of course. Lyra didn't understand it. In her culture, warriors were taught to protect their own, but never strangers. Her people believed showing care to an outsider was weakness. She had done the same, ignored suffering if it didn't benefit the mission. But this human, he had no reason to help. You're strange, she said quietly. Adam laughed. You're not the first to say that. She tilted her head. Why do you live alone? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he handed her a small metal bowl with something hot inside. She looked at it, unsure. Relax, he said. It's not poison. Just dried protein. Some herbs. You need to eat. She took a slow bite. It tasted better than it looked. She didn't say thank you this time. She didn't know how many times she could say it before it lost meaning. I used to be a soldier, Adam finally said. A long time ago. Saw too much. Lost too much. After that, I worked salvage, then wandered. Ended up here. Lyra watched him closely. His words were simple, but there was something behind them: weight, pain, a history he didn't want to explain. She respected that. She, too, carried stories she never spoke. After a few quiet minutes, she asked, "Do you hate us? Aliens, my kind?" Adam shook his head. "No, I don't hate anyone. Hate doesn't fix anything. But many humans do. Many of every species do," he replied. "Fear breeds hate, and your people fear us." She looked down. He wasn't wrong. "We call humans death worlders," she whispered. "Your planet is violent. Your history is full of war. You are fast, strong, unpredictable." Adam raised an eyebrow. "Sounds like a compliment." Lyra looked at him. "Not all think so. I don't blame them. Humans can be dangerous. But we're not all the same." She studied his face. The scar near his jaw. The soft lines under. His eyes. He had seen war, but his hands were still gentle. He spoke with calm, not anger. That confused her most of all. "What about you?" he asked. "Why were you flying alone?" She hesitated, then said, "Recon mission. I was gathering data near the edge of the neutral zone. I wasn't supposed to be this close to human space." Adam nodded slowly. "So, if your people find you here, with me, what happens?" Lyra didn't answer. That silence said enough. She looked away, ashamed. "They would call me tainted. I would be removed from service. Maybe worse." Adam looked down at his hands, thinking, "So I saved you, and now they'll punish you for surviving?" "Yes," she said quietly. For a while, neither spoke. The wind outside had calmed. The storm was fading. "You don't have to go back, right away," he said finally. Lyra turned to him. "What do you mean?" "You need time to heal." "I've got food, shelter. It's not much, but it's safe here." She opened her mouth to protest but stopped. Part of her wanted to return, finish her mission, prove she hadn't failed. But another part, small, soft, wanted to stay to learn more about this human, to understand why he risked so much. And maybe to feel something she had never felt before. "All right," she said, her voice low. "I'll stay. For now." Adam gave a slow, quiet nod. "Then we take it one day at a time." Lyra looked at him, and for the first time in her life, felt a calm that wasn't from duty or orders. It came from him. Asterisk a bond begins. Lyra moved carefully, her injured leg wrapped tight. The pain had faded, but the weakness remained. She walked with slow steps around the shelter, touching strange objects she didn't recognize: tools, gear, even pieces of old machines. All human made. Adam watched from the side, fixing a small power unit. He didn't say much, but he always looked up when she stumbled or paused too long. Curious. He finally asked. Double quotes, yes. Lyra replied, "Everything here. It's so different." He smiled. "Most of it's junk, but some of it still works." She picked up a worn photo from a box. It showed a group of humans in uniform, standing together, smiling. One of them was Admir's younger, with less gray in his hair and fire in his eyes. "This your team?" "Was," he said softly. "We lost some in a bad landing. Rest went home. I stayed." Lyra put the photo down carefully. "Why stay in a place like this?" Adam looked out through a crack in the shelter wall. The sky was pale orange, clouds drifting slowly. Peace. No orders. No wars. Just silence. Lyra stood beside him. "Isn't that lonely?" He shrugged. "Sometimes. But I think I needed it." She nodded. "I understand that." Adam glanced at her. "Do you?" "Yes," she said. "My life was always controlled missions, training, ranks. I was never alone. But I was never free either." He leaned back. "And now, I feel free here," she said quietly. They didn't speak for a while. The wind outside was soft now, like the moon had grown tired of roaring. Inside, it was warm. Still, later, Adam made a drink using something bitter and earthy. He handed her a cup. Careful, it's strong. Lyra took a sip and coughed. It tastes awful. Adam laughed. That's coffee. Humans drink it to stay awake. She tried again. Slower this time. Strange. Creatures. Probably, he said, grinning. The days passed. Lyra's wounds healed faster than she expected. She learned how to help with repairs, how to cook simple meals using the supplies Adam had gathered, and how to filter water from beneath the rocks. But she also learned about Adam what he feared, what he missed. He missed the stars most of all. He would stare at them at night, silent and thoughtful. "Do you want to leave this moon?" she asked one night. He looked up at the sky, then at her. "I did. Once. Now, I'm not sure." "Why not?" He smiled softly. "Because for the first time in years, I don't feel alone." Lyra didn't answer. She didn't have to. The feeling was mutual. They sat close beside the heater, the silence between them full of warmth. Her shoulder brushed his. Neither moved away. Something had changed. Not just survival. Not just gratitude. Something deeper. Something fragile, but real. That night, Lyra dreamed of her home world. Cold halls, sharp voices, judging eyes. She woke with a start, breathing fast. Adam sat nearby, half asleep. "You all right?" She nodded. "Just a memory." He looked at her, his voice low. "You're safe now." She believed him, and that truth scared her more than anything else, because she didn't want to leave anymore. Asterisk the signal that changed everything. The quiet peace between them didn't last. It began one morning. As Lyra and Adam worked together outside the shelter, she was lifting a broken antenna while Adam rewired a small solar panel. The wind was calm, and the sun felt gentle on their skin. Then a soft beep echoed from inside the shelter. Adam froze. "That's the long-range scanner." Lyra looked at him. "You said it never picks up anything." "Exactly." They rushed inside. Adam checked the old screen, his eyes scanning the blinking signal. A slow pulse. One every few seconds. Faint, but clear. "Someone's out there," he said. Lyra leaned over his shoulder. Her breath caught in her throat. "It's my people," she whispered. The signal wasn't a distress call or a message for help. It was a tracking beacon. A search pattern. Her people were scanning the moon, looking for wreckage, looking for her. Adam stepped back, arms crossed. "They found your flight path." She didn't speak. He looked at her carefully. "What happens if they find you?" Lyra didn't answer at first, then said, "They'll take me, question me, test me." Adam's face darkened. "Because of me?" "Yes. You didn't ask for this." "No," she said. "But I don't regret it." They stood in silence for a long time. Outside, the sky remained calm, but inside, everything shifted. Adam finally spoke. "You can still leave. If they come, I'll stay hidden. Tell them I was never here." Lyra turned sharply. "No. You be safe." "I don't want to be safe," she said firmly. "I want to be free." Adam blinked. "Then what do we do?" She looked down at the screen. "If the signal is weak, they'll need more time to find me." He nodded. "I can boost interference. Give us at least a few days. Then we use them," she said. "We prepare." Adam raised a brow. "For what?" Lyra took a deep breath. "For goodbye or escape." That night, the mood changed. They still sat by the heater, still ate together, but the silence was heavier. Lyra stared at the flames. "You've given me more than survival, Adam." He looked at her. "What do you mean?" "You gave me choice." "I never had that before." Adam's jaw tightened. "You deserve better than what they'll do to you." Lyra reached out, her fingers touching his hand gently. "So do you?" Their eyes met. No more walls. No more confusion. Only truth. Her touch stayed. He didn't pull away. And in that quiet moment, the air between them grew warmer than any fire. Asterisk, they came for her. The sky cracked open to days later. A sleek alien ship broke through the clouds like a blade of silver, cutting across the red horizon. It hovered above the hills, scanning the surface below. Its lights swept over broken stone, searching for signs of life. Adam and Lyra watched from behind a ridge. His rifle lay across his lap, not pointed, just ready. Lyra's body was tense, heart pounding in her chest. They're early, Adam said. Lyra nodded. Too early. They must have tracked your crash more precisely. She swallowed hard. That ship, it's command tier. My captain is aboard. Adam looked at her. Do you trust them? She hesitated, then shook her head slowly. Not anymore. They ducked down as a small drop shuttle detached from the main ship and landed nearby. Dust rose in thick clouds as its legs touched down. Seconds later, the door hissed open. 3 figures stepped out, tall and armored in polished suits. Their weapons were sleek and charged. One of them removed their helmet-sharp eyes, thin lips, and a voice like cold steel. You need Lyra, the voice called out. This is Commander Varn. We have come to retrieve you. You are ordered to report immediately. Lyra clenched her fists. They didn't even ask if I was alive. Just assumed I'd obey. Adam kept his voice low. What do you want to do? Lyra stood slowly. Her heart was racing, but her voice was steady. I want to face them. Adam didn't argue. He stood with her, silent support at her side. They stepped out into the open. Commander Varn's eyes narrowed the moment he saw Adam. You were in contact with a human. Lyra held her head high. He saved me. That is irrelevant. Varn snapped. You are compromised. You will be taken in for cleansing. Then interrogation. The human will be detained and studied. Adam raised an eyebrow. Not the best. Way to thank someone for saving your pilot. The soldiers aimed their weapons at him. Lyra stepped forward. No. Varn looked annoyed. You forget your place. I've found a new one, Lyra said. He treated me with care. Not like property. Not like a tool. You're speaking nonsense. No, she said clearly. I'm speaking truth. I choose to stay. Varn's voice grew colder. Then you will be taken by force. That's when Adam moved. Quick as lightning, he stepped in front of her. His voice was calm, but it cut like steel. You'll have to go through me. The moment paused. Weapons hummed. Lyra looked at him, wide-eyed. Adam, don't. He didn't look at her. They're not taking you. Varn stepped forward. You are just a human. One man. Adam smirked. Then maybe your scanners missed something. A second later, the ground beneath the alien soldiers beeped. Hidden mind small, old, but still active. The soldiers froze. Adam pointed at the rocky slope behind them. You fire, and we all go up. So maybe walk away, Commander. Varn's lips curled in disgust. This isn't over. He turned to Lyra. You disappoint us. She stared at him. You never knew me. The commander signaled, and the team retreated to the shuttle. In moments, it lifted off, leaving behind only wind and silence. Lyra's knees gave out. Adam caught her. It's done, he whispered. No, she said, tears finally falling. It's just beginning. Asterisk what they chose together. The alien ship disappeared into the sky, its engines screaming into silence. The dust slowly settled over the rocks, and the world became still once more. Lyra sat beside Adam on the edge of a low hill. Her eyes were red, but her breathing had slowed. The choice had been made. There was no going back. She had walked away from everything, her duty, her world, her people, but not from him. Do you think they'll return? She asked quietly. Adam stared at the horizon. Maybe not soon. You humiliated a commander. He won't forget that. Lyra let out a bitter breath. He never saw me as a person. Just a soldier with skin. Adam turned to her. You're more than that now. She looked at him. Because of you. Asterisk no. He said, voice steady. Because of you. You chose this. She was silent for a moment. Then she whispered, I was dying. If you hadn't come, I did. He interrupted gently. And you stayed, she said, her eyes soft, even when you could have walked away. Adam smiled, the first real smile in days. Well, maybe I liked your stubbornness. Lyra chuckled. You call that a compliment? The best kind. They stood and walked back to the shelter. It was still quiet there, but the air felt different, like the silence wasn't empty anymore, it was shared. That night, they sat close by the heater, their shoulders touching, hands brushing just once, then staying. No more walls. No more pretending. Lyra turned her head. Adam, do you ever wonder what the stars would look like from my world? He looked at her, thoughtful. Sometimes. But I think I like this view better. She leaned into him. Would you go with me someday, if it was safe? He didn't answer right away. Then he said, if you're going, I'm going. Her heart beat faster, not from fear, but something warmer, something deeper. I want to build something here, she said, not just hide. Adam looked around the shelter. It's not much, it's enough, she said. We can make it more. And together, they began. They reinforced the shelter, planted seeds in the soil Adam had tested, repaired the comms not to call for help, but to listen, to watch the stars, to know what moved out there. They trained together, cooked together, laughed more, spoke of things both painful and beautiful. And in time, the pain faded. Not completely, but enough to let peace grow in its place. One day, a small ship appeared in the sky again, but this time, it did not land. It hovered, scanned, and left. No soldiers, no messages. Just silence. Maybe they understood her message, or maybe they were too afraid to face the human who dared to protect what mattered to him. Years passed. Legends would grow about the alien pilot who vanished and the human ghost who lived on the red moon. But the truth was simpler. A woman was dying. A man chose to save her. And together, they found more than survival. They found each other. Asterisk.